In order to challenge a system, we need to really understand the system. It can be tempting to want quick solutions that make a difference now. But good advocacy requires looking at the big picture and advocating in meaningful ways that make lasting changes for students in the long term. In the last episode, we ended with some questions about international student fees. Now, let's use that example to dig into how the Ontario college system works. Let's get started. Centennial College is a publicly funded college in Ontario, and it's regulated by the Ministry of Colleges and Universities. Pause. This is a good time to introduce how the Canadian government works. So the Canadian government works at 3 levels. Federal, that's nationally all of Canada. Provincial, for us that's the province of Ontario. And municipal, which for us is the city of Toronto. Colleges are regulated at the provincial level through the Ministry of Colleges and Universities. Back to Centennial College. So it's a publicly funded college. That means it receives funds from the government to operate. More on that in a moment. On the other hand, CCSAI is an official organization that represents the students of Centennial College, but CCSAI is a non-profit organization. CCSAI funds come from students. College funds come from 3 different sources. You have government, you have student fees, and some other sources. Back in 2001, this is what the split looked like. Tax money going towards supporting college education. 20 years later, this is what we have. We still have a good bit of government funding. Still, this does not give us the whole picture. This is the average across Canada. But remember we said that colleges are regulated at the provincial level? Let's break this up by province. So in all other provinces in Canada, we see that a bigger portion of the funding comes from the government. In Ontario, that funding is tiny, and colleges in Ontario rely on student tuition as their main source of revenue. As that government funding decreases, Ontario colleges rely more and more on student fees in order to operate. And that impact lands heavier on international students than on domestic students. That's why some argue that in Ontario, we shouldn't even be calling them publicly funded colleges. They're more like publicly assisted. So what can we do about it? Did you know a provincial election is coming up? CCSAI is a nonpartisan organization, which means it doesn't endorse any specific political party, but you as an individual can. One of the reasons it's easier for governments to ignore issues that are impacting international students is because international students don't vote for or against them. So we need to create that awareness in the population that is voting. We want a government that invests in college education, so international students are not left to fund it. And that will help us create a sustainable system of publicly funded colleges in Ontario. So that's what you can do at an individual level. But what can CCSAI do at an organizational level? Find out in the next video. Hey, if this video helped you learn something, consider voting on March 9 and 10. I want to bring action to this topic. Thanks for watching. Bye!